This call is from a person currently in a prison in England. All calls are logged and recorded and may be listened to by a member of prison staff. If you do not wish to accept this call, please hang up now.
Friday to Sunday, the 5th of January 2025, HMP Thameside, Bravo Wing. The last few days have been uneventful. What has been most prominent has been a feeling that is either boredom, loneliness, depression, or all of them at once, or at different points. Then I remember that they're pretty much how I felt on the outside, but it's not so bad when I have my family around me. On Friday, I caught Ahmed out on A-Ring's yard from my cell's window, which is opposite my window, at around 20 to 25 meters away. I tried signaling them with waving, but it was futile, and honestly, it felt embarrassing just waving to myself in the cell. So I opened my window hatch and my lungs and called their first name. They paused their workout and was looking 180 degrees in my direction. So at this point I knew it might actually be possible to communicate with them. So I called once again to help them pinpoint the sound of my voice when I called their first and second name while waving both arms. They saw me through the bars of my window. I can't remember exactly how the conversation went, but they shouted at me. I shouted back, "Say again," this time putting my ear to the window shutters. "Nobody knows where you are," they shouted, mostly referring to the people I'd call like my mum, friends, supporters, and including Ahmed himself. And if they did know, they would have just told them where I was. "Be Lois," I replied, putting my ear back to hear the reply, which was a reiteration of my answer. "When are you going to gym?" I asked in order to link up with them and catch up. It's the only time we could possibly have to speak to each other. I told them I'll see them there. I didn't want to keep them from their exercise and have a shouting conversation that both wings could hear, so I let them get back to it. I just wish I had told them to keep their head up or some form of encouragement, but I'm positive that they're doing fine. Still, I regret not saying it. I should see them Wednesday morning for gym. Other than that convo, I haven't spoken to anybody I now consider knowing or consider a friend. I'm still waiting for my phone line to be fixed, and on Tuesday I have a visit. Maybe clothes being brought in with it. But I still haven't spoken to that person to tell them that my visit's been accepted. I'm going to ask one of the lads who came Lois the same day as me if I can use their phone tomorrow on social. Social here is strange and it's not consistent. On some days, our pads have been locked when we've come out of the cells, which is good to prevent stealing and theft. But today, for example, I came out and went back in to make a coffee, and as the kettle was boiling, as I told the screw, but they told me because I went back in the cell after 10 minutes of social, I'd now be locked in for the whole duration, leaving me puzzled. It was also leaving me annoyed as well. But 20 minutes later, I got let out again. I can't explain it, it's just strange. So yeah, social just absolutely puzzled me. On other occasions, our pads aren't locked when we come out, which is good for if you want to cuppa or want to use somebody's phone like me tomorrow. So I'm going to have to see or ask a screw if they're going to let me. I'm finally going to be able to get my clothes washed tomorrow, I went to the washroom today to confirm the day, and the worker caught me looking at the timetable for when different cells' laundry is. So I told him I'll catch him tomorrow, to which the laundry worker replied and sung, "I am the washing man, washing the machines is what I play," to the tune of Music Man. And he kept that up as I went back downstairs. I could still hear it. The lad from Main Lowers is also my next door neighbour to the right. We both know each other, the most out of anybody on the wing. And while I wouldn't say that we were mates, we do chat small talk. And they asked if I'm coming out for exercise twice. One time I just said nah, because I didn't want to get sick from the cold. And another time, today, I was asleep with boredom. Yesterday, I spent all day and night memorizing Shadu Allah ilaha illallah, Shadu Anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, for when I take the Shahada. I hope to ask Ahmed when I see them the proper pronunciation, because I doubt that I'm saying it correctly. I'm around 140 pages into the Quran, which is about 680 pages. The context before each surah is most interesting history. Scarface was on telly last night. It's based on a professional criminal who'd been persecuted by Castro during the Cuban Revolution. They're a devout anti-communist who wants everything that the richest capitalists have. And they also recognize it's not possible as a wage slave working 9 to 5, so they get involved in organized crime, as well as capitalist enterprise when they have the means. For me, my favourite quotes are not "say hello to my little friend" or "the world is yours." My favourite quotes are,
"You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy."
Sit down in a room full of upper class. My other favourite quote from it is, even with the anti-communism, or in spite of, 20 explains,
"You know what capitalism is? Get fucked."
Thank you for tuning in to Diary of a Political Prisoner. What was a short list for you was a period of time in prison for me. So please make sure that you subscribe on whatever podcast player you're listening on to be notified of future episodes. Each episode was recorded in a prison cell as I'm held on remand for allegedly being involved in a Palestine action to disrupt and destroy weapons in a genocidal Israeli arms factory under Section 5 of the Terrorism Act. My diary is a podcast only to give you something in the hope that you can give help and support to my mum and son, which I can't do by any other means from prison. In supporting them, for £5 a month, you can get a week's worth of episodes in advance every Monday. For £10 a month, you'll get the week's worth of episodes. Plus, I'll respond to any question you have in a monthly question and answer episode on my Patreon at patreon.com/politicalprisonerpod. For £25 a month, our humanitarian aid tier, you get all of the above while knowing my little boy is supported and happy. One-time donations can be made by emailing or messaging my producer on social media. Media/collaboration inquiries are on the same line as senders and inbox. If you can't support me family in my absence, please follow the podcast on Instagram if you're going to be listening. Please follow on Twitter, all of our socials. Our handle is Diary Pol Prisoner. Please share them and this podcast with your friends. It's free to do and it helps this project grow. You can also send me a prisoner email or letters drawings, anything like that. Links to everything mentioned can be found in the podcast description below. Thank you, love, and solidarity.